Hi everyone, welcome. We've just got 3 or 4 minutes. We're 3 or 4 minutes early, so we're just going to wait until we get a few more people on the call before we kick off. But welcome to the Water Conservancy's webinar today on Smart Approved WaterMark. Thanks for joining us, and this will be recorded. So just so you're aware of that. Hopefully, no one has any issues with that. If you do, please let me know in the chat box. Hi to those that have just joined us. Welcome to the Water Conservancy's webinar on Smart Approved WaterMark today. We're just going to wait another couple of minutes before we kick off for a few more people to join us. But we'll try and kick off right on 11. 2 minutes according to my watch, so if you can bear with us, then we'll start right on time. All right, it's 11 o'clock. We might kick off. Welcome, everybody, to the Water Conservancy's webinar titled Calling Water Efficiency Innovators Eager to Influence a New Generation of Shoppers. What does that mean? Well, this is all around the Smart Approved WaterMark certification program. And my name's Chris Philpott. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the CEO of the Water Conservancy, and thanks so much for joining us this morning. We're going to spend about an hour or so talking to you about the program, what it does, what it's designed to do, what we do for people that are licensed with Smart Approved WaterMark, and then provide you with some testimonials and an opportunity to ask any questions at the end. So yeah, thanks for joining again. And I thought I'd just start by running you through a little bit about Smart Approved WaterMark, what it is and where it came from. But first of all, who is the Water Conservancy? For those of you who don't know, we are Australia's not-for-profit working in the space of water efficiency, water literacy and water awareness, with the aim of helping people value water more, understand it and use it more efficiently in order to conserve more and waste less. So really, with the context of today, the Smart Approved WaterMark is a label that was launched 18 years ago to help people understand which products save water, so when they're shopping, make the right choice. and in turn choose those right products, but also start thinking about water more and help people value water more. We do have 5 key objectives at the Water Conservancy: understanding water attitudes, improving water literacy, facilitating water efficiency, raising water awareness, and understanding water consumption. There are 5 key high-level um, objectives, if you like. And Smart Approved WaterMark is only one of 5 different programs that we offer. We also help water utilities communicate better to their communities on how to save water. We have a schools incursion program. We run a water awareness event called Water Night, similar to Earth Hour, but for water. And we also have a non-residential program called Smart Water Solutions. Our networks are across the Water Services Association members, local councils and water utilities, product manufacturers and industry associations and not-for-profit organisations. Okay, so a bit of history just to start on the Smart Approved WaterMark. It was set up in 2004, and it was born out of a recommendation from the National Water Initiative, which really called for a program, a certification program that identified those products and services that saved water and would be eligible for rebates offered by water utilities and also eligible to be exempt under water restrictions potentially. And so the Smart Approved WaterMark was set up with 4 founding partners, of which WASA was one, Irrigation Australia was another, the Nursery and Garden Industry Association was the third, and then the Australian Water Association was the fourth. So 4 founding partners. And essentially, it's been running for the last 18 years. And in that time, we've reviewed many product applications and approved many products as well, which are all listed on the website at smartwatermark.org. So the idea is that once the independent expert panel has reviewed and approved a product, the product becomes a certified licensee. And they can gain market advantage by adding the label to their websites and their packaging, and also gain advantage from the additional promotion that we offer at the Water Conservancy, as well as being listed on our website. So the key thing is once you're approved, you're able to use the Smart Approved WaterMark logo in your marketing materials, on your product packaging, a little bit like something like the Fair Trade label, but it is designed to indicate that your product saves water. And for a shopper looking for products that save water, the idea is that they look for the Smart Approved WaterMark logo and they choose your product over another one that might not have the Smart Approved WaterMark logo. So it has become very much the established mark of eligibility for rebates during times of restrictions and drought. And we work quite widely with the Australian water industry, water utilities and councils that provide water within Queensland and New South Wales, to really promote the Smart Approved WaterMark and encourage those stakeholders to be promoting the Smart Approved WaterMark to their customers. The other key thing to mention is that it is the criteria that you have to gain in order to get WaterWise endorsement in Western Australia. So we work very closely with the Water Corporation in Western Australia, who run the WaterWise endorsed program. And in order to get that WaterWise endorsement, you have to have Smart Approved WaterMark first. Essentially, there's just an application fee and a license fee that's valid for 2 years. And we offer multiple licenses as well for those people that wanted to apply for sort of three or four products in one go. There's some multiple licenses available. So I suppose a bit of detail on how it works. We have the sort of 4 main criteria that you must meet in order to gain approval under Smart Approved WaterMark. The first is that obviously the product must save water or must be water efficient. It must do what it says it does on the box. What the box says it is, it has to do that. And it must meet Australian standards, and it also must be environmentally sustainable. We ask in your application that you provide evidence of water savings. That's the key thing you need for our expert panel to review. So what are we doing once you've been approved? What are the benefits? Why should you apply to Smart Approved Watermark? What are you looking to achieve out of using our logo? What benefits are you hoping to achieve out of using our logo? Um, so these are the ways we would work with you once you're approved. Obviously, in addition to being able to use the Smart Approved Watermark logo on your product packaging, on your website, on all of your marketing materials, we would also help raise awareness generally of the Smart Approved Watermark brand, but also your product. So we don't offer bespoke marketing campaigns or marketing services, but we rely on our network of contacts within the water sector to promote the scheme. And we are a not-for-profit, so we don't have huge, budgets to throw into marketing for Smart Approved Watermark, but we're very much well networked with the water industry and with key stakeholders to make Smart Approved Watermark an important part of what's expected when it comes to water savings. A little bit like alongside the WELS scheme. So WELS is the obviously the government's mandatory star rating scheme for washing machine, dishwashers, taps, toilet showers, and we have been known as the sister scheme to WELS, operating alongside that in the other categories that we offer. So in terms of brand awareness, we've established industry partners. We work with the Water Corporation in Western Australia on their WaterWise program, the Climate Care Certified program with the Swimming Pool and Spa Association, the Water Stewards Household program in partnership with the Alliance for Water Stewardship, and we also work alongside WaterAid. We have quite a large part of brand awareness comes through third-party PR. Gaining articles to promote all of our licensed products across in journals offered by associations through WASA and AWA and the Irrigation Australia. Always looking for as much free PR as possible to promote both Smart Approved Watermark as well as our licensed products. We have an extensive website at smartwatermark.org where your products would be listed. Each product that is approved has its own unique listing on our website, a dedicated page with an image and some text and a link directly to your website. We do regular monthly e-newsletters to all of our audience of 19,000 subscribers. And our stakeholder newsletter goes out to 900 subscribers across the water sector and other key stakeholders, promoting your products once they've been approved. We also do regular posting across our social media platforms. We have the Blue House, which is our interactive video with different areas of the room, and once approved, your products are listed in the relevant area of the house. So as our visitors go through the Blue House, they're exposed to your products and the fact it's been licensed. We also run competitions regularly every month. So that's just a very quick overview of, I guess, what the Smart Approved Watermark is, what the benefits are to our existing licensees, and what the benefits would be to anyone that's on the webinar that has an interest in applying for certification with Smart Approved Watermark. And also, I know there are quite a few water utilities on the call today too. So I think it's lovely to be able to, I guess, give you all an overview of Smart Approved Watermark and what it is we offer for the industry when it comes to a certification program. So thanks for that. I wanted to hand over now to Jeremy Cape, who many of you may know as the chair of the independent expert panel and has been since 2004. So very grateful for his long-standing support. And Jeremy has a few keywords he'd like to take you through.
Thanks, Chris. What I'd like to do first of all is get a bit of an idea of who's online, if I may. I've got lots of initials down there, and I don't know where everybody comes from, and it would really help me to make sure that the remarks that I address or that I come up with are going to be relevant to you. So would it be possible, this is just the order in which the initials appear in front of me. So if you wouldn't mind, so NG is the first person I have. I wonder if NG could introduce themselves and tell me where you're from.
Hey, I'm Nicole Gibson. I'm from Soka, Australia. I designed a water-saving laundry soaking system. So that's me, and I'm only on for a short time, so I'm so sorry because I've got Queensland time. Yeah, so I'm speaking to Michelle, but there you go. Hello, everyone.
Great. Thanks very much. Hi, Marilena. There's a familiar name. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So I'm from Toro, and I've joined today on behalf of some other people who can't be here. But Toro have been a supporter of Smart Approved WaterMark for quite a number of years, although I'm not entirely sure which products we have now that are in the scheme. But yeah, I'm here on behalf of some others who can't be able to attend.
Great, thank you. And AR is the next initial I can see. AR, are you there? Your microphone on, off? Mine. SS, I think. Is there an SS?
It's indeed. Yep. It's Steve Shinners from Central Coast Council in New South Wales. Just basically starting from a very low base in terms of improving customer understanding of water saving opportunities out there in the community. We've gone from a communicating on a council basis to having our own standalone communication system. So looking at populating with information such as what you'll provide here.
Great, thanks very much, Steve. TB is the next person I have there.
Yeah, hey, so my name's Trent Boyle. I'm from Port Macquarie Hastings Council. Pretty new to the whole water scene. This is my third week in council, so I'm just looking to get a good kind of background base, you know, in what all this is about.
But thanks very much, Trent. I can see someone there, I think from Swan Systems. Is that John? Is that right? Microphone, I think.
We'll get that trapped for everyone. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, John Pargetta from Swan Systems. We've been with the Watermark for 6 or 7 years now. So yeah, good supporters and love Watermark. We've also got one of our founding directors, Arbor, in the room, and also Chris, one of our marketing people. So yeah, Swan Systems.
Great, thanks very much, John. So would that be the IG? Is that Ivor by any chance?
Yeah, hi Jeremy. Hi everyone. Yes, that's me, Ivor. So yeah, with John and Chris at Swan Systems.
Great, thank you very much. A TH, I've got another initial there. Is that Tracy?
Yep, that's me, Tracy Hamer from Mid Coast Council. So similar to Central Coast, yeah, just looking to help our community become a bit more water efficient.
Great, thanks very much, Tracy. So who have I missed? As a gentleman in the middle there with headphones on, who I can see, but I'm not sure what initial you've got there.
Probably me then, if you've missed everyone else.
Yes,
yeah.
Great.
Anne-Marie Joseph, I'm from Queanbeyan Power and Council. Same as the other councils there, looking to sort of get a bit more detail about this kind of thing.
Okay, great. Is there anybody I've missed? Hopefully I got everyone. Hi there. It's Amanda. Are you there,
Sorry,
Samantha?
AR is Alice Rowbottom, ED Officer of Colaban Water in Victoria. She's got no mic and no video today, so she apologises just in the chat.
Right.
Feel your pain.
Welcome anyway, Amanda. Thank you for joining us. And Samantha, are you?
Yes, my name is Sam Milani, or Samandar Milani. I'm a manufacturer. I'm a hydraulic consultant, but also a manufacturer of grey water diversion and treatment systems.
So you're still based
in WA.
I was going to say, you're still in the West, are you, Sam?
Still in the West, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for inviting me. I had to cancel a couple of things, but I was quite interested in joining. So yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. But I just wanted to, I mean, I don't want to do a great download of the whole things. I would just like to explain what I think are some important,
Bill.
some key things about how the Smart Approved WaterMark works. Maybe a bit of a contrast with the WELS scheme, and talk about the product approval process so that you get an idea, for those of you who might be thinking about applying to the scheme, how the range of evidence that we have a look at, the different sources of evidence that we use, and how that process works. So I'm just going to share my screen initially, which hopefully will come up, and you should be able to see the products page from the Smart Approved WaterMark. Has that turned up okay for everyone?
No, not yet, Jeremy. For me. Do you see that, Michelle? No.
No, hasn't. How's that?
Yeah, that's good, Jeremy.
Okay, sorry, I forget when it, I can't see what's going on when I, anyway, that's good. So this is the products page, and it has, you can see a list of all of the different products that have been certified by the program. There's the Smart Approved WaterMark program, the WaterWise, which Chris has spoken about, and the WELS program. So the first thing I just wanted to highlight, this is the WELS rating scheme, and you're probably all familiar with the star rating. That scheme is based on, and it covers these 6 groups of products. For each of those products, there are a series of Australian standards, and as a mandatory scheme, every manufacturer who wants to sell product in one of these categories submits the product, a prototype product, or not a prototype, a type product, for testing, and its performance, which largely is based on the flow rate of the product. So with showers, they have a thing called an annular gauge, and you look at the amount of water that falls in a certain pattern area, and the less water that achieves the shower outcome through the measured by the annular gauge, the higher the star rating. And as I say, it's largely based almost totally on the flow rate of the product. If you look at the range of products, if I go back now to the products that we have, you can see how something like that doesn't work. And it was deliberately part of the design of the Smart WaterMark program that we would be able to certify and label products that couldn't be certified by the WELS scheme. So on this page here, you can see the swimming pool covers. There is actually a standard for swimming pool covers that measures the amount of evaporation through a swimming pool cover. So there are other parts of the swimming pool cover standard which cover things like strength and integrity and ripping and things of that nature. But we focus very much on making sure that any swimming pool cover that is submitted to Smart WaterMark meets the evaporation criteria, so that it does actually act as a product that reduces evaporation from the pool surface and hence saves water. If you look at some of the other, a completely different set of products, if we look at, say, the rainwater products, you can see here that we would require a completely different set of information to show how that product helps to save water. So in the case of the AquaSaver water diversion valve, one of the things that if you're using rainwater, you want to make sure that the rainwater is appropriately diverted after the initial dirty water, if you like, that comes down with the rainstorm. Any rubbish is removed, and then the water can be diverted for use within the house, so that it provides an automatic changeover, so that when there is rainwater available, it can be used to flush the toilet, for example, and is a substitute for mains water. And I guess what that product highlights, and similarly with the pool covers, we're not interested so much in the total amount of water being saved as trying to identify in the various categories the sort of best in class, if you like, that product which works well and will save some water. Because we understand that particularly in households, we're dealing with situations where we've got a whole lot of different uses for water. And so if we can save a little bit of water here, a little bit of water there, then we'll be making a contribution. So the total amount of water that you save is not critical. What is important is that the use of any product or service that you put forward for certification is able to save some water and is then, if you like, the common practice. So what we're about in a way is trying to make best practice the common practice, and by moving the bar up, by having more people use more efficient and better products, we hope get to much better outcomes and save some of that precious water. So another area, we've got Marilay, we've got Toro, and the watering is one. You can see here a whole range of different products in the watering area. The Chameleon card system and the Chameleon Wi-Fi system are both soil moisture sensors, originally developed in the CSIRO. The Clever Drop sprinkler is a very good example of what I was talking about in terms of the best practice. Some people might argue that to have a really efficient home garden watering system, it should be all beautifully laid out with a controller and a embedded irrigation system with pop-up sprinklers or sprayers. But we know that not everybody does that, and lots of people use hose end sprinklers. The Clever Drop sprinkler is one example of a sprinkler that is very efficient in how evenly it waters. So that's much better than many other types of irrigation, single end of hose irrigation. There are some other examples we've got to go, the Rotor Rain, etc. There are quite a lot of sprinklers or controllers, and in all of them, we look for information that demonstrates that independent sources have tested and used the controllers or the product or the service and demonstrated how it was able to save water. If you take the hose link connector, it was a product that was the connector itself is, and I'm sure anybody who's ever had a home garden and wandered around and screwed together the fittings and pulled them apart, HoseLink did a very simple test by connecting their connectors together and measuring, had CSIRO do tests and measure the leakage from the connection, and even were able to have two cars pulling on the connection to show how strong it was and how well the connector works. So the final point that I wanted to talk about was just very quickly on this, on the how to apply. There's the categories, but I wanted to draw attention to this part here, the guidelines. So because there are a whole range of different products, what we of the expert panels tried to do is to provide some insights and some assistance to you when you apply, so that you can see ways in which you can have your product tested, or how it might be, how you can provide the evidence to show that your product is a water saving product or service. So anybody who's interested in applying, I'd strongly recommend that you have a look at those guidelines. And the other point I'd make about the guidelines is that we try to develop these in association with the industries. So for the irrigation equipment, we developed the initial draft of the guidelines and sent them to Irrigation Australia for them to circulate amongst their membership, so that the guidelines that we ended up with were not so much endorsed, but certainly accepted and seen by the industry. We went through a long consultative process with the turf grass industry, with the Turf Australia, to make sure that things happened in the same way. So we try and work in a very collaborative and industry-focused way, so that the process that we use for developing and getting the evidence is fair to the applicant, and that they can see that it is a clear and transparent process for everybody. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm very happy to answer any questions that anybody might have from that brief presentation. So thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Jeremy. Does anyone have any questions for myself or Jeremy before we move on? Or even I should also introduce Michelle, who's also on the call, that many of you would know. Michelle, who heads up the Smart Approved WaterMark program for the Water Conservancy. So I might open up just for questions for myself or Jeremy or Michelle right now, before we kind of move on to the second part, where we're going to sort of have some existing Smart WaterMark licensees talk about benefits they've seen from using the program. No questions yet. Everyone's very quiet. Nothing in the chat. Is there anything in the chat, Michelle? Can't see. Nothing in the chat. No.
No.
Okay. That's okay. Hopefully we've answered everything you need to know. What we might do is move on to the testimonial section, just to give you, I guess, hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so if you like. So we have some pre-recorded videos to play you, and we also have some people on the call who are going to talk in person. Might start with a video, if I can get it up and running. From Prue at Air Garden.
Hi guys, Prue Bauer here from Air Garden. I'm one of the founders of Air Garden, and I want to take a little bit of time to talk about why we thought it was really important to get our water certification. So when Tom, my brother, and I really first set out to create the Air Garden, one of the key criteria for us was that it was sustainable and environmentally friendly. And you can see it sitting here behind me, and it's got a really big base reservoir, which carries about 85 litres of water. The great thing about that is that it's recycling and recirculating that water. So you can put some plants in here, and I've just put some new ones in yesterday, and I won't need to top that water up for about 4 odd weeks or so. So that's a really great water saving, and I think we all know that water is a pretty precious commodity, but probably one we all take a little bit for granted, because for many of us, we've never been without it unless we've been through a drought or something similar. But it is a really precious and scarce resource, and we're super proud that we've been able to do something to really conserve, I guess, that precious resource that's so important to all of our lives and our ability to function as people and a planet. So really encourage anyone to go through that process of getting their certification, because it's certainly important and a really bit of a gold stamp to get, and we think it's, as I said, really important. We're glad we've been able to do that, and also meet the guys who spend so much time championing this cause of water efficiency. So on that note, hip hip hooray, and looking forward to Water Day.
lovely one from Prue. Did that play all right, Michelle? Didn't want to hear
Yeah,
the sound.
Prue's actually on the call.
Oh, is
I'm not
she?
sure she's, I don't know if she's
Oh, no way.
driving or whatever, but she's actually signed in on the call.
Oh,
There
Prue,
she is.
did you want to add anything, Prue, to your lovely video testimonial? Sorry, I didn't realise you were on the call.
I should have done a better job there. We actually got pulled a bit from pillar to post on the day, and I was like, I'm gonna have to do this myself. And I said to Michelle, God, I hope this comes out all right, or it's going to be a disaster of me.
It was great. Yeah.
But,
The plane was the best part.
Yeah.
I know it was fun, but yeah, look, it was a really great. I think we were. I kept saying to the guys in our team, you know, we really need to do this. It's so important, and as we all know, like unless you highlight it, because as we were talking about on the water night launch, you turn on the taps, water comes out, and for most people, there's really never been an occasion, well, not in this country certainly, where you turn on water or you need water and it's just not in supply. And I think unlike a lot of other natural resources, we just don't see it as scarce, but it is scarce and it is precious and it is something we need to look after. And I think, you know, being able to say to people, look, and definitely for us, look, this is a consideration. We know that this is important for people and planet moving forward. And to be able to have that verification and outside gold stamp, as opposed to us just beating our chests and saying, hey, look, we're watering gardens and growing 3 times more food than a soil-based garden, without really depleting those natural resources, and it being recognised by an external body is really important. So I definitely encourage people to do it. I need to spend a bit more time with Michelle working out how we incorporate it better, because we're always running at 1,000 miles an hour. But you know, great team to work with you guys, and I really encourage anyone who hasn't done it to do it. And Jeremy, it was great to meet you too.
Thanks, Prue. That's brilliant. All right, we're going to go over to John at Swan Systems. John, would you like to say a few words around the benefits you've seen of working with Smart Approved WaterMark for about the last 6 or 7 years? I think you've been licensed with us for.
Yes, that's correct, Chris. The reason we applied for Smart Approved WaterMark over that 6 or 7 years ago was very straightforward. Our goals aligned. Our goals were the same as WaterMark. And whilst we are perhaps not a typical WaterMark service or product, that didn't stop us from seeking it out, because we saw the value in what they were aiming to achieve from the outset. Swan's all about helping our customers use water more efficiently and sustainably. So our goals align with WaterMark. And whilst our target audience is perhaps a little bit different, we're very heavily ag orientated as well as local governments. You know, that doesn't matter to WaterMark or ourselves. Over the last 6 or 7 years, Swan has expanded into every state of Australia. And in this last 12 months, we've made a big move into the US, all thanks to the platform's effectiveness, acceptance in the irrigation industry over the last 6 or 7 years, and of course the WaterMark endorsement. Our customers range throughout the whole irrigation industry, from schools and local government for their turf and public open space areas, to table and wine grapes, almonds, citrus, avocados, olives, potatoes. In fact, any crop that can be irrigated can utilise the Swan platform. So I think for us, we've got Chris, our marketing manager, is in the room as well. He's got us using that logo on the signature of every one of our emails that goes out. So yeah, it is important to us, and I think it's helped us as a startup. 6 or 7 years ago, it's helped us gain momentum in the industry. So I'm not sure if Ivor or Chris wants to add anything to that, but yeah, that's my view.
Great. Thanks, John. It's lovely to hear such good words, and I'm glad it's been of value to you. Fabulous. Good stuff. We might move to, is Nicole Gibson still on the call?
No,
do we know?
She had to leave.
Go?
She was heading into her council. Sorry.
No, that's okay. We might move across to, we have another video provided by Wobble Tea, who have been with us really
Welcome to Wobble Tea.
really since 2006 or 2007, I think, and it's been pretty. The Smart Approved WaterMark was integral for them during the Millennium Drought in terms of launching their products. So anyway, I'll let you hear it from Tony rather than myself.
This is where we assemble and send out the Australian-made Wobble Tea water efficient sprinkler. This product has been specially designed to apply water slowly and evenly from the small nozzle, watering a large area. They work best on medium to low pressure and simulate slow soaking rain, which eliminates wasteful runoff. And we believe that the Wobble Tea is the best sprinkler for lawns and gardens, and they have been recognised by consumers and water authorities with awards. The Organic Gardener's People's Choice Award and Product of the Year Award from Smart Approved WaterMark. Our Wobble Tea sprinklers have been approved and carry the Smart Approved WaterMark logo in recognition of their efficiency. For over 22 years, we have had an education and marketing strategy, Australia-wide, exhibiting at agricultural field days so people could learn the benefits of slow, even watering. Wobble Tea sales in Australia have exceeded 1 million sprinklers. The initial point of sale, where the sprinkler sits on the shop shelf, is assisted by the Water Conservancy Smart WaterMark approved logo, which gives the consumer confidence in the product that it is truly water saving and efficient.
Thanks, Tony. And we've got one more video for you. We'll put on now.
Hi, I'm Nathan from TerraCottem Australia. I'm currently aboard the Ovation of the Seas, which is sailing from Hawaii through Tahiti, New Zealand, into Sydney. Currently, I have my little mascot in the corner, my towel monkey that our stateroom attendant makes for us every night, which is quite cute. I've been asked to talk a little bit about TerraCottem, Arbor, Turf and Universal today, and also the benefits of having the Smart Approved WaterMark accreditation. For me and for TerraCottem Australia, having the Smart Approved WaterMark accreditation gives us credibility within our industry. It tells our end user that what we say in our literature and what we say to our clients has been backed up both scientifically and independently assessed. So having this Smart Approved WaterMark means a lot to us from a credibility point of view within the industry. It's not an easy thing to get this Smart Approved WaterMark, and we are very thankful that we can get it. I'd also like to talk to you about TerraCottem and what it can do from a sustainable point of view. So TerraCottem is a very sustainable product. It goes into the root zone and holds moisture and nutrition and is considered a soil conditioner. Having TerraCottem in your soil means that you do not have to water as much and fertilize as much. So there is a huge saving over the life of the product. And in our literature for the Smart Approved WaterMark, it's up to 50% over the life of the product, which is a huge benefit in both water saving and fertilizer nutrition savings over the life of our product, which is 10 years. Thank you and have a great day.
All right. We were also hoping to hear, I think, from Marcus at Water Secure. Don't know if Marcus is on the call.
No, I haven't seen him log in. I tried to call him before and he hasn't picked up, so that's okay.
That's okay. Hopefully you've all got a good idea what the Smart Approved WaterMark offers and the benefits to our licensees. So we might move on to the next part, which is to let you know that we are relaunching the product of the year, excitingly. So I'll just show you this slide, which essentially the product of the year is a benefit that we launched, back during the Millennium Drought, and a lot of businesses found it very worthwhile for their company to be for their product to have been awarded the product of the year, and really used it as a way of positioning their product to gain that market advantage. So we're relaunching the product of the year. We're broadening it to cover services as well. And we will be announcing the winner, hopefully, off the back of the Ozwater event in May next year, which will be held in Sydney. So the last time we awarded the product of the year was back in 2014. So our concept is that we will look at all products and services that have been approved since 2014 until the end of this year. So if anybody on the call is thinking about applying for Smart Approved WaterMark, then now is a fabulous time, because you will have an opportunity to be included in the product of the year for 2022 when it is awarded next year if you apply now. So essentially you will be, if you win, you're granted the additional use of the new logo with the product of the year 2022, which you can use. You would have seen that Tony from Wobbletea had the trophy in his video and had the product of the year logo on the Wobbletea point of sale information. So it's just an additional way of leveraging your product as the winner of the year. So if you have any further questions on that, please don't hesitate to contact myself or Michelle. But I just wanted to make you aware that that is going to be relaunched. So might hand over to Michelle now, just to say a few words and explain a bit of detail on how to apply, and then we'll open up for questions.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for your testimonials. They're fabulous. So the best way to apply, normally you can either reach out to myself, or if I've already made contact with you, I will walk you through the process. I'm just going to share my screen and show you the easiest way to apply. Just let me know when you can see that, because I have no idea if you can see it. Oh, can you see it, Chris?
Not yet. It's
Not
not
yet?
doesn't appear to be working.
You might have to select the window in the bottom of your screen, Michelle.
Okay. Bottom. There we go. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yay.
All good.
Can you
Lovely.
see it now? Perfect. Yep. Okay, so this is our website. When we did the rebranding this year, we made sure we had really clear, I guess you could say, headers. So the application form is here. Click on this application form, and it actually walks you through if your product fits one of the categories, what Jeremy mentioned before, and then to check the 4 criteria to make sure it saves water, and then how to apply. This pretty much is stock standard information. Expert panels happen every quarter. So we have another one coming up in December the 6th. And then the next one will be March 2023, and then June, and so on and so forth. So we do have expert panels 4 times a year, where the expert panel, myself and Chris, do meet, and we go through any application that comes through. So when you do actually apply, so we have the application fees as well. So there's an application fee which is required upon completion of your application. This is non-refundable. And then once your product is approved, there is a license fee. And again, it depends on what criteria, if you're a smaller company or a larger company, what you would be invoiced at. This is for 2 years. So it's, the $489 divided by 2 years is quite a small cost, and so is the $2,145. So to apply, you pretty much click the application form just here, and you literally go through the wizard as possible. So there's contact details, so your name, surname, job title, company, email, company details, all that sort of thing. Then licensing requirements. So it'll have a drop down here. What are you trying to apply for, a product or a service? So we have that broken up into 2 categories. And then which category does your product fit into? So again, it can be car, it can be cleaning, it can be grey water, it could be pool and spa. It depends what it is. Whenever I talk to anyone applying, I always just double check to make sure that you actually have, oh, sorry, what have I done? You actually have the guidelines, because the guidelines actually give you a breakdown of how you should conduct testing if you haven't already done so. Now, a lot of the people, a lot of licensees I talk to obviously have conducted testing, but the most critical, important part of testing has to be completed by a third party. To avoid a conflict of interest, it has to be completely independent of your company. It can't be anyone that works in your company conducting testing. It has to be a complete independent body. And this is something that I always stress upon completing your application. Sometimes a lot of people are not as computer savvy and they do get stuck with the application. So my recommendation is to send me all the details, because A, I familiarize myself with your product or service, which means when I have the expert panel, I know the product, I can answer any questions the expert panel have or can't find in the documentation. I'm able to direct them as so, and then I will create your application for you. So that's another way to do it as well. I have a lot of accounts that are on the road and they don't always have assistance. So I quite often will just jump on and help them finish the application. I have a lot of accounts as well that are not great with computers. So they will just send me the details and I'll complete the application. So there's no right or wrong way, but the most important part when you do complete your application is to make sure you are following the guidelines and that you have got the evidence to show that the product or the service does save water based on the guidelines, and that you've got the exact testing or criteria, or even a testimonial. Now, we do accept testimonials, but it's really critical, and I say this to all my new licensees that are applying, that the testimonial is just not from someone who goes, oh yeah, the product saves water. The testimonial actually says, yes, actually the product does save water. My last quarter water bill was blah, and then since it's been installed, it has been reduced by XYZ. You can say percent, you can say the liters, you can say however you see fit. It can be a written testimonial. It can just be evidence that's been supplied. But again, it has to be by a third party, because what happens is we actually contact that third party to make sure they're legitimate and just to qualify what they've said is actually true. Because we obviously don't want to have from an auditing point of view, we want to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. So that's the application process. It is quite simple. It can be quite tedious at times when you have more than one product. So I can't actually show you that now, unfortunately, but when you do go through the process, at the very bottom, when you enter your product details, it'll ask you to add more. Do you have another product or a service? Do you want to add it? And that's one way you can keep all that data and just add another product, add another product, add another product. It's a really easy way to do it. And we have definitely popped that into our website as a feature, because we had a lot of companies apply, but they had to keep submitting the same data over again, and they were kind of over it. So if anyone has any questions to the application side of things, what happens is once you submit your application, I get a notification. Our entire expert panel receive a notification that you have submitted an application. So they have obviously the time to read, process, and download all the documentations and things like that. I will be in touch with you to walk you through the next steps, let you know when the next expert panel is on, and things like that. And I will also just double check you've got everything in your application. So sometimes people don't have said documents, and I've noticed on the application that they've forgotten to upload them or whatever it is, and it's just, oh, they've attached the wrong thing. It's easy done. It's really easy done when you're applying for something. So I pretty much walk you through the application process, or I do it for you on your behalf. Either or, I'm totally happy to help. That's my job. So if anyone has any questions, or if you are on the fence of applying, just let me know, because I can probably clear up any questions that you have.
Question?
Yes, that was quick.
My product was on your website a few years ago, but I didn't continue the certification for a couple of years. I'd like to reapply. What do I need to do?
Okay, so if that's the case, then you do not actually need to submit a new application, provided the product has not changed spec or has not changed any of the original criteria. What I would ask you to do is send me what the product is now, and then I would submit that to the December expert panel for discussion, and they would just I pretty much submit the previous application versus what the product is now. So if you have a product specification sheet, warranty manual, and if nothing of the product has changed, send it through, and then they pretty much will review it from there and make the decision from there. Normally, we do have products or services that do drop off, obviously, because for whatever reason, and when they do want to reapply, this is one step. You don't actually have to apply again, provided your product hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, now we also have different models. So we have, for example, a self-cleaning model, we have a manual model, we have, it's the same product, but we have different models. Do you have to list each one of the models?
Maybe I can answer that for you, Michelle. I was just going to say, just to add on to what Michelle said, Sam, if you've got updated performance data for the product since it was last licensed, that would be very helpful for the expert panel, just to show that it is still in use and it's still being used. So as Michelle said, the original application is 90% of the way there, but some updated information would be really good. And as far as the models are concerned, it's actually, if there are different colored models, then we don't worry about the different colors. It's the technology that is the core of the product that is being licensed. So a difference between a manual one and an automatic one, as long as the automatic feature doesn't provide a functionality other than the automation, but in terms of the water saving, if there's no difference between the products, then I think I'm right in saying, Michelle and Chris, it's all covered under the same product.
Thank you.
We also have Toro that have a couple of brands under their parent brand, which is the same product but under different brands, which we do also license. So if you were to have, just say you are distributing this brand, I don't know, to Aldi or to a retailer and they have to have it under their style guide, it's the same product, you could definitely have that follow through. So it could have, as Jeremy said, a different color, a different brand, but as long as the water element savings hasn't changed and the performance of the product is still the same, it's totally fine.
Thank you. I'll send you an email.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. You've got my details, have you?
Yes, I do.
Yep. All right, awesome. That's great. Cool. Did anyone have any questions about the application process? Because that's pretty much as simple as it is. Nope. Okay, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're done. Does anyone have any other? What I might just do is just, Michelle, I hope you don't mind, but I'll just put your email address in, and then anyone can.
Oh yeah. Okay. I can put. Do you want me to put in the chat? Oh, you are typing. Okay. Another thing I should touch on is once your product is approved, I then will be in touch with you pretty quickly. I will be issuing your certification certificate. I will then also sending you marketing collateral, logos, how to use these logos. As you saw, Wobble Tea use them on their packaging and things like that to ensure that your product has as much advantage and point of differentiation out there in the market. And if there's any sort of marketing content that we have that's updated, I will send that to you like on an ongoing basis. So it's not just you get your application and that's it. I then also engage with you and double check to see if you have any marketing information that we can use on our newsletters and social media content, if there's any specials you're running on. So I know a couple of years ago there was a system. I can't remember what the system was. It was a cleaning system, and they didn't have any specials, but they did a how to clean, like, you know, getting ready for COVID, all that sort of thing, and how to sanitize and have effective. And we ran a feature on that in our newsletter. So it doesn't have to be a sale as such. It can be just a general promotional activity that you're doing, a welfare check, you know, is your lawn ready for spring? You know, have you got leaky taps? It can just be a call out, but we're very happy to use it. And I'm always emailing accounts asking what they've got and what we can use and things like that. And as much as we are not for profit, we don't have a budget to a marketing budget to, you know, to advertise as much exposure as we can where we can. I'm always picking my accounts brains and wanting content or whatever it is and things like that. So you just don't get forgotten. I become like your best friend kind of, or a serial pest, whichever you want to call it. And I'm always engaging and double checking if you're doing things. And if it's not on your website, I'm like, do you know you should put the logo on your website? So I'm always just kind of following up, making sure that you know how to use the logo and how to use it to work in your advantage and your benefit, because like we are in La Nina at the moment, but once drought hits, it'll be absolutely fundamental. It's coming.
I just add too that it's fabulous. There are so many people on this call that want to talk about water efficiency at the moment. So we're not just the crazy people in the not-for-profit that are trying to push its cause during La Nina, but other people are interested too, which is great. Love that, because obviously it's always on for us. And yeah, really appreciate your participation. And yes, if you want to know anything else about the Water Conservancy or Smarter People WaterMark, please get in touch. If there are no further questions, we could close early, half an hour early.
Woo-hoo. Well done, guys. And this is recorded, so I will send the link out. I had a lot of prospects and existing SORM licensees that just couldn't make it due to the time difference and travel commitments. So this will be sent out to everyone. So if you've missed anything and you want to listen to it again, it's all here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, everyone else.
Thank you.
Glad you all enjoyed it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
See you later.
Chris. You're going to
Yeah.
Michelle.
Bye. Jeremy and Michelle, do you want to stay on for a bit? 2 seconds?
Yep. I'll just stop the recording. Stop recording. Stop.